Welcome, everybody, to episode 2 of Lights, Camera, Pop. I'm Rich,
I'm Mike.
and we are back for a second week. So happy to hear, the first episode, I've got a lot of really positive reviews about. Um, I'm pretty excited about that. I can't lie. It made me pretty happy to hear about it.
Right?
Um,
Yeah, I had a lot of my friends be like, "Man," I was like, "It sounded good," So I'm like, "Cool."
yeah, and you know what? And I apologize too if anybody heard any static. I when we're recording, we don't really hear the static, so I'm not sure what had happened. Hopefully this week we don't have any static, but if there is, let us know. And then maybe try to shuffle some wires around. Maybe just something's getting caught up in the recording. Not really too sure.
And again, I mean, like, bear with us. This is only episode 2. We're trying to we're trying to feel our way through all this. So we promise, as we go, we'll get better.
Yes, and if it goes to episode 200 and you can still hear static or we still sound, just keep listening. Maybe episode 400 will be different.
Yeah, yeah. It'll still be our fault, but we will take no responsibility for it.
100%. So, Mike, what have you been up to this week?
Just work. Um, then did a little bit of hunting yesterday for some stuff, but I would say it's semi-successful, but nothing major. How
Okay.
about you?
Well, actually, I've been doing the same, working. I'm usually off on Wednesdays, so I kind of like to once in a while get caught up on some of the things that I've been waiting to watch or see. And on Wednesday, I watched the Pee Wee himself on Max,
I
and
want to see that so bad.
oh,
I haven't
it is
gotten around to it yet.
incredible! It is so incredible, very well done. I tell you what, like when Paul Rubens had passed, I don't know what it was. There's been a lot of celebrity passings in the course of the years that
Right.
it's like my childhood is dying off, and I don't know what it was, but when Paul Rubens had passed, like it kind of hit me a little harder than a lot of the other ones. And I don't know why I can't put my finger on it, but I tell you what, like I've just Pee Wee Herman, all of his movies, even Big Top Pee Wee. I've just everything he's been in, and just the kind of person that he was. Sure, he's had some controversy, which
Who
who
hasn't?
hasn't anymore?
Name me a celebrity or a human being that has not had controversy. You
Exactly.
can't. It's called being a man and called being a human.
And it wasn't anything like you have to watch the doc because he even goes into detail and the stuff that was alleged against him turned out to be false. But still, once that is out there, it's like it's tarnished.
Yeah,
You
once the genie's out of the bottle, it's impossible to put it back
It
in.
really is. And um I was just sent something the other day, and so I kind of fell into a rabbit hole of um facts about the Pee-wee's Big Adventure. And I wanted to bring this up because it just blew my mind. You tell me what you think of this. So Mark Holton, famously known
Mhm.
as Francis, uh,
Yeah.
was not originally tapped to play Francis. Originally, it was supposed to be Corey Feldman. Corey
Are you
Feld,
serious?
yeah. Okay, so and I started looking. I'm like, oh wait, I have to look at all this because it just didn't fit, and I couldn't understand it. So I go into IMDb and I'm looking at the years. So Pee Wee's Big Adventure came out in 1985. Okay, 1986, Stand By Me came out. So imagine a year earlier from Stand By Me, that Corey Feldman being the bully against Paul Rubens. It just would not have worked.
No, I don't think it would have either. No way.
Yeah, and I guess he had uh, wasn't able to do it because of scheduling conflicts or anything like that. And like honestly, to me, Mark Holton, like there are two things. Like he's had a plethora of roles, and
Oh yeah.
but there's only two. Like while some people may say Leprechaun, but for me, he's always going to be Francis. in Pee-wee, or Chubby from Teen Wolf.
Teen
The,
Wolf.
yeah, those are the only two roles that I'm ever going to remember him being in. And but he is a phenomenal actor. And but yeah, I can't see Corey Feldman being in that role. And I, Corey Feldman's roles, everything he's been in, cheesy or phenomenal, everything is good. I like anything that he's in.
I am. I think we dodged the proverbial bullet on that one. Mostly because, like, I'm not going to talk smack on Feldman, um, but you're right. I can't see him doing that. I just like it would be. It would almost be like a forced acting there.
Yes.
Like, I mean, at least the original, like you could see it, like, because like the how do I want to say it, like it was just there. Okay, the way they acted, the way they were. If you had Corey Feldman as a kid trying to be a bully against a grown man, even though the grown man was, let's face it,
A
Paul
man
Rubens,
child,
Pee Wee
yeah.
Herman, yeah, a man child. It still comes across as like I don't care, man. He's gonna crush you. You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
yeah. So yeah, that is funny. Like I did not know that. I've never heard that. Um, wow, that's cool.
It really
That's
is.
funny.
Um, and then over the weekend, went and did something that, like, it just kind of, I want to say, broke my heart a little bit. But we went to the mall in Westmoreland, uh, and it was a Friday night. And granted, I'll give this the benefit of the doubt that it was a rainy, gloomy kind of day. But we went to the mall, and it is not the mall that I remember growing up. Like, and I don't mean the mall because I didn't usually go to that mall because it was further
Hmm.
away from me. But being on a Friday, it used to be shoulder to shoulder people, people hanging out, and just having a good time. And there
You
was,
mean just the mall experience?
yes, yes, it was just nothing. It was like
Yeah,
probably the deadest I've ever seen a mall on a Friday.
that's such a shame because the mall is dead. Like it is. The mall is a dead entity, and it's a shame.
It is.
That was truly our babysitter when we were kids, man. Like, the mall was your babysitter. I don't care what you say. The mall was the babysitter. You dropped your kid off at like 6 o'clock, and you got him at like 9 or 10. And all we did was wander up and down the mall, doing with no discernible,
Yeah,
interests whatsoever. You had maybe $10 in your pocket, and you were able to grab something to eat, and that was
exactly.
pretty much it.
And well,
You
and
know.
the mall back in our day was the mall was our Tinder, basically. You know,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
if you wanted to see this one, walk right, walk left if you didn't. It was just one of those
Exactly
things.
right.
It was so bizarre being there and just seeing, like, no interactions with people, and then there were multiple people walking on their phones and everything. It's just like, wow, this is pretty insane.
And trying to explain it to my kids too. They're like, "What? You guys went there to hang out?" I'm like, yeah.
It's like you have
Like,
no idea.
and then they look at you like you grew a second head. Like, what the hell?
Right.
It's like
um, but yeah, I just that's pretty much about all. I was watching, like, I would throw on Pulp Fiction a little bit, kind of, like, I've been kind of like recently on a Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez kick, and
nice.
so I've been kind of watching some of their movies, and I started watching The Sopranos again, which I haven't watched in a while, and I just picked up right where I left off, so it wasn't too terrible to get back into it.
This
Um,
weekend was a big nerd weekend for Pittsburgh, though. I mean, like, you had the Three Rivers Arts Festival kickoff. Three Rivers Comic Con was this weekend down at David Lawrence,
yeah,
and you also had the Night of the Living Dead weekend over there at Monroeville Mall. And unfortunately, like, I have just so much stuff going on in my personal life that I'm getting ready for some like a surgery and different things like that. So like I just couldn't make it to any of it. But it is what it is. Like there's always next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, but like this year, this weekend would have been a big weekend for all of us, nerds. Like I really wanted to hit at least the Comic-Con and the Night of Living Dead weekend just to make an appearance and show my face and do a little bit of support. But like I said, I wasn't able to make it. I did, however, go to town of Monongahela down the road from me. They had a big community yard sale flea market thing, and
Oh, nice.
I wandered around there yesterday for a while, for about 2-3 hours, and found a comic and got a Jaws VHS tape and a Star Wars VHS tapes.
I saw
But
you
other than
post
that,
about that. I want to say
yeah.
because I had that box set too. It was the original trilogy, and I want to
Yep.
say that was the one. The images had like the side faces of Yoda, the Stormtrooper, and Darth Vader on each of the covers. And
Yes.
I also believe those were the last incarnations of the original footage before.
The
Yes.
unbastardized village footage. Yes.
Yeah, once right before Lucas added all the extra CGI footage and everything, they had one
Yeah.
final box set of that, and that was it. I'm very surprised, being a Star Wars fan. I would love for them to do this, and I don't know why they haven't. I mean, it has to be a rights thing, but I'm surprised Disney has not put out new DVDs or Blu-rays, 4K, whatever, holograms, whatever it is that they're into now.
Right.
I'm surprised they have not done like a special edition to where you can watch. Like put both of them on there, but give the fans the option to watch the original uncut form.
Uncut. There was a rumor that they were going to do that. Like not Disney before. This is even before the Disney acquisition. There was a rumor that they were going to do a huge DVD set. Okay, and it was
Mhm.
going to have like episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and like the original series. They're also supposed to have the original cuts and extended versions. It was supposed to be like a multi-disc set,
Yeah.
but supposedly I heard it got killed because of like cost. People are like, no one is going to pay like $800 for this set. You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
know.
Um, and like, yeah, I mean, like, trust me, there's a lot of nerds that'd be like $800. Yeah, I'll sell a kidney.
Right. I don't need that
So
testicle.
yeah, I got two. So like, what's it called? But it just never saw the light of day, and I honestly think that's a shame. I would, like you said, I would love to see that. I think even if they don't go and do the whole 9 million disc retrospective or however the hell you're going to be watching your movies, even if they don't do a big retrospect like that, they just put them out. Heck, put them back on Disney streaming, the original
Right.
versions.
Yeah.
You put the original Star Wars, the original 3 Star Wars, uncut, unbastardized on Disney streaming, and I'm sorry, Disney, but your entire money woes that you keep crying about because your subscriptions are faltering are going to come flooding back because every nerd on the planet is going to be like, I got to watch it now.
Yep. 100%. However, that being said, once they watched it, I'm sure they may cancel it again.
Yeah, oh yeah, but at least you'll get like one huge influx of cash where they can go and ruin a bunch of more movies from our past with.
Oh, 100%. Hey, listen, I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard a lot of really positive things about the Lilo and Stitch movie. I've heard a few negatives, but real quick, speaking of that Lilo and Stitch movie, my biggest thing is we're recording this on the 41st anniversary, which I just posted about it today, the 41st anniversary of Gremlins. And I was going to talk about
Nice.
this. Yeah, and it's a big bucket of wind to the filmmakers of that movie, the stars. Because I tell you what, that movie is still timeless to this day. And while surprisingly it was not released during the holidays, because it's clearly a holiday movie.
Oh, it's clearly a Christmas
Yeah.
movie.
Oh yeah, 100%. But I just don't. It's a movie that you can watch any time of the year. But what I was getting at is with this Lilo and Stitch movie, I'm just very surprised they did not try make any kind of attempt to do like a practical effect Stitch. Not, I mean, the
You're right.
CGI that they did for it, I thought was probably better than most of the stuff they put out so far in CGI. But I personally would have liked. I think it would have given it more of a realistic look and made it make it Jesus made it look more believable.
I agree.
Not
I
enough of
agree.
the practical effects.
There's not enough. People are starting to rely too much on CGI. And I mean, like, don't get me wrong, CGI is amazing, and AI is just incredible in what it can do. But there's just nothing like hands-on.
Right, 100%. I
There's
agree,
just
and
nothing like hands-on.
that it kind of brings me to one of the news bits too, um, that Warner Brothers is announced that they're making a Care Bears movie, a live action Care Bears.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, and don't get me wrong. I mean, like, I'm willing to bet that they're going to be CG, but I'm hoping that we might get a little bit more. I think it would be pretty cool to see. I doubt Warner Brothers is going to spring for puppeteering, but yeah, I think that it could be interesting. I tell you what, the kids movies that they've done and brought back, they seem to be doing really well.
I'm sitting here pondering that now. Care Bear stare. That would actually, like, I'm kind of like, yeah, I want to see that. I think that'd be kind of interesting.
Oh yeah,
And I think
absolutely.
you're right. I think it's going to be laden with CG and AI, but
Oh, 100%.
still, I got to see this. I think it's going to be an interesting. I think that's going to be really interesting and see what happens. I think what we're going to really see the hands-on practical effects stuff mostly is going to be in indie films. Um, you're gonna in smaller budget stuff because I think that stuff's going to be a little bit cheaper to do.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
and I think that's where we're really gonna if we want to go back to watching practical effects type of films, that's where it's going to be your lower budget, your independent um, films and movies and such. Because I think I honestly think the train has left the station when it comes to the AI and CG, and I think all your big theaters are going to be doing nothing but like your 20th Century Foxes,
Yep.
your Sonys, your Disney, all that stuff. That's going to be so CG laden, and it's gonna. I think CG is going to get to the point to where with AI, it's almost indistinguishable. I think it's just going to get to the point to where
It is
a
getting
lot
closer
of
and
times you're going to
closer.
be like, why even have actors?
And that's like we could literally talk for hours and days and months and
Right.
years on AI.
That's that's a rabbit hole that is long and deep.
Yes, because I mean, it's almost like it's a catch 22. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing because while it has its advantages, there's probably about 20 more disadvantages to it.
Right.
I just think that when it comes to AI, if you're going to use it responsibly, do it right. Don't take credit for other people's work by using AI. I think that's where a lot of the issues are going to start to come in hand, and a lot of people aren't going to get recognized for their work.
Right. Right. And I mean, like even like the voice recognition software that's coming out now, like it has such implications all the way across the entertainment and I hate to say it, but like news and political spectrums as well. I mean, like it's going to get to the point where it's like you're not going to be able to believe anything. But again, that's like another rabbit hole that I don't really want to go down. But I mean, it's just
Right.
something that it's just something that I worry about.
Oh yeah, as a person who is a who wants to be a filmmaker, of course, I love the idea of being just an independent, do-it-yourself kind of filmmaker. Um, but it also makes me concerned about like everything else about where an independent filmmaker's uh, work and art is going to fall into place. Will it get buried upon everything else or what? So it's definitely one of those things that you, like you said, have to be concerned and worry about.
What I'm hoping for, I'm hoping for a rise in independent filmmakers again. I mean, I think there's always going to be that niche
Hmm.
market of people that want to see actual filmmaking,
Yes, and
and not rely on hitting enter one too many times on the keyboard.
right, and being that I'm not like I'm just gonna like I don't want to go off on a tangent or on an opposite direction because I'm gonna say this at first is that I don't understand the political issues right now or anything like that, and I don't follow it. Maybe I should, but I don't. But my thought was is like I wonder, being that they were implementing 100% tariffs on filmmaking. I wonder if that would cause like a trickle effect, and we would see an influx of more independent filmmaking.
Right.
And I question that, and I'm just wondering. I'm wondering if we will see that, but well, only time will tell on that. Uh,
Yeah, I mean that's we don't have a crystal ball to look and see what's going to happen
Absolutely,
with that,
but I hope so. I
But
really do because I agree.
I
Uh,
do too. Like I really want a rise of just actual film, even short films and stuff like that. I love that sort of stuff.
yeah, I do too. Speaking of like, well, actually, just going back to the news, kind of moving on. This is something that we were texting about the other day, and I have to bring this up because this is more casting news, and it
Okay.
deals a lot with music and movies. And I can't picture this at all. And right now we're at a height of musical documentaries. We had Elvis with Austin Butler. We have a Michael Jackson movie coming out. You
I know
already
where
know
you're
where this
going.
is going. We had the Bohemian Rhapsody with Rami Malek, which was phenomenal. But and even the Elvis movie, it was okay. It wasn't. I think it got. I think it was a little bit more overhyped than what it actually was. And but this next one has me scratching my head just to disbelief. Nick Jonas of the Jonas Brothers, or of Nick Jonas, was cast as Paul Stanley in a Kiss biopic, and
I,
I'm
I am
completely blown away by this.
so looking forward to this. Like
It's like the
this
jokes can't write
movie,
themselves.
yeah, this movie is like I cannot wait to see this. I am going to be first in line with popcorn. I will buy my ticket at freaking midnight. This people are thinking now like, oh, he must be a huge Kiss fan. I despise that band, but I
We've talked
think
about this. Yeah,
yeah,
they are a very one of the and arguably, I mean, I understand they have a following, but I to this day stand by me saying that I think they are the most overrated, overhyped bands of all time. I just and I cannot get into their music whatsoever. I think their theatrics of what they per I think their theatrics of what they appear to be does not match what their music is. It
right.
doesn't match whatsoever. It's like if Disney remade um, Terrifier. It
It's like
doesn't
if
make
Disney.
any sense.
Okay. Oh man. Ah,
Yeah, it just
calm
so
down, man.
I'm
Yeah,
waiting to
like they
see
have
what the
one
rest of the
good
cast
record.
looks like.
One. They have one damn good record. That's it. Destroyer. Everything else after that, everything up to and after that is garbage. Don't care what anybody says. Come at me, bro. It's crap. I don't care what you say. It's garbage. But they're great live. I've seen them live, and I hate to say this. They are in the top 3 of the best bands that I have ever seen live because they have no musical talent, so they have to be a spectacle.
Makes
Okay.
sense.
Um. Now, the reason why I want to see this movie so bad is because how much I cannot stand this band, and I just want to see how they're going to try to do. Like, I just want to see how they do this.
It,
I want to see if they're going to do like some sort of like a revisionist history, turn them because they already think they're gods to begin with.
right.
But oh man, yeah, this is going to be an interesting movie.
I'm curious to know like who the rest of the cast will be. Like,
And the funny thing
will
is,
Gene Simmons play himself, and
oh no
he'll
doubt,
have
yeah,
him CGI himself young?
yeah,
Because with that
yeah.
ego that he has is just oh. Or will they just keep going, Disney stars like Mitchell Musso from Hannah Montana? He'll be Gene Simmons, and
But I
just
mean, like the funny thing is, like, okay, I did look at the Joe Jonas and then like Paul Stanley look a lot, like I kind of put their pictures next to one another, and the casting wasn't too hateful. I mean, like they kind of got like the same like facial features ish, like the way they're like like the long chin and different things like that. So I kind of see where they're going with it. And let's face it, the Jonas dude can sing. Paul
hmm
can't, but he can. Um, I am just calling it as I see it. We made a pact that we would not talk crap on anybody or anything like that. But I said, what did I tell you when I wrote when I said that? I'm like, the only band that I would talk crap
Yep.
on is Kiss. But again, I'm not talking. I'm really not talking crap on
Well,
Kiss. I don't like them, but I respect the hell out of them because
yes.
like. There's a point that, I mean, like, they're making a movie about them. Everybody on the planet knows who they are. They're
And
like the musical Coca-Cola.
yep,
I mean,
they're a household name. And
yeah,
I,
they're
just to piggyback off what you said, I completely agree. They are. I respect everything. They've contributed so much to the music industry, musically wise, their persona, their music, everything. And I feel that if they did, if I didn't give them credit where credit is due, they're, I'm sure, responsible for a lot of the bands that I do like. So while I
oh yeah. I mean,
don't
like, you
care for
look
their
at
music, I respect the hell out of what they've contributed to the genre and everything.
it's like if you go back and through like every single person. I mean, like says like Kiss was an influence on them. I mean, like you wouldn't have bands like Ghost. You wouldn't have like a lot of stuff. And like, let's face it, Ghost is the new Kiss, but Ghost is good. Um, like
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, no, no. They're actually another band I can't seem to quite get into. I don't hate them, but
Like it's funny for some reason I love Ghost, but I only love the first four records. The first four records I really, really like. After the first four records, I don't hate any of their stuff, but I don't love it either. But again, going back to the live stuff, amazing live. They're like they're just fantastic live. That's just all there's to it.
see, and one song that I've always really liked from them since I heard it was Hunter's Moon.
Okay,
And
yeah.
that's probably one of my favorite songs that they've put out. And I don't know if I don't know if it was the song itself. Like if I would have heard that song before I knew it came from Halloween Kills,
hmm
would I have liked it would I have liked it just as much? I'm not sure. I can't say that's neither here nor there, but I do like it. And the fact that it is in the Halloween Kills movie, I think that it adds to it. And the music video
Right.
is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, like again, I like them. Like, think they're great live. Everything about them. My one buddy Brian. I want to give a shout out to him because he helps me out at doing a lot of the shows and different things like that. He loves them. He bought their new record and we were listening to it a couple days after it came out, and we both kind of came to the conclusion that it's a solid record. Like it would like if you're gonna like grade it, I would give it like a B, not a B plus, not a A minus, but a solid B. The writing's there, everything's there. It's a good record. It's a good solid record. It's not a home run. It's not like when you're listening to, you're just like, man, I could run out and buy this. But but if it comes on and you're like, okay, cool, I like it. And if you are a vinyl collector or something like that, yeah, you're gonna get it. You're gonna pick it up on 12 inch.
For
But
sure.
Yeah, but like like I said, I like it. I think it's a good record. I think they're a good band. I think they're a very solid band. Um, are they the best band? No. But are they today's Kiss? Yeah.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
see
they're
it.
today's
I can
Kiss.
see that though. I can definitely agree, and I can see that.
Yeah.
Um, but moving on,
Yes.
now that we kind of shit on them a little bit,
Yeah. I'm
but
not done. We'll be doing that a little bit more as the as the show rolls on, I'm sure.
right. Um, what's new in the comic world? Like, is there anything new coming out? Anything like what are you looking forward to?
Like looking forward to I still love just the Batman runs. Like anything the
Mhm.
Batman comes out with, I get a big kick out of. For a while there, they've been doing a I can't remember the name of it right now. Completely just jumped out of my head. But they've been doing a whole storylines on the Universal monsters, and they're like a really cool read. They
No
do like two
shit.
or three issues, like 2 or 3 issues off of each one of the monsters, and they're really really good. They did like Dracula, they did Frankenstein so far. They did the Wolfman, and they did the Invisible Man, and I want to say, oh, and they did the creature from the Black Lagoon. So that like the first 5 are out, and I want to say they're doing the Mummy pretty soon. So I'm looking forward to those. Um, what else is coming out? Like there's so much stuff. Okay. One of my favorite books I've been really into right now is a series called Feral, and
Okay.
um, it's The Walking Dead for house pets.
Okay. I'm
It, it
interested.
it's what happens is like this cat um gets out of its house, okay, and is trying to it gets lost, blah blah blah, and there's this really horrible strain of rabies that's making all the pets go insane and like attack each other. So literally think Walking Dead, but with house pets. That's exactly what it's called, Feral, and that's a really interesting book. Funny, everything like that. I crazy, but done in a really interesting way. I got one for you though.
Okay.
I got a book for you. There's a book called Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, and this is it's a short run.
Such a
Came out a
long
couple
title.
years ago. Yeah, came out a couple years ago, but probably like 2-ish years ago. And it's just wrapping up now. So like I said, it's a really short run. Um, and
I'm looking at it
think
right
the
now. The artwork is
think
pretty cool. I like it.
yeah, think the Berenstein Bears meets Dexter.
It's funny because that was the first vibe I got was either Little Bear or Berenstain Bears.
Yep, it's about this bear, and she lives in this little town, and it's a quaint little town, and she's the shop teacher, and all the kids love her and everything like that. But on her free time, she's a serial killer.
Oh my god.
She goes into the big city, finds a person, kills them, brings them back to this spot in the woods, hence beneath the trees. She buries them, and that's her little, you know, her peaceful spot. And now there's another serial killer in her town, and she's trying to find out who this serial killer is, so that serial killer doesn't blow the whistle
I
on her.
love that. I love the concept. That sounds really cool. And the
And when
fact
you
that they
read
did it
it,
with animals makes it even more funnier.
and the fact it's all pastel too.
Yeah.
Like so, when you're looking at the art, it's like watercolors, like pinks and pastels, and like real cutesy. And then you flip the page, and you're like, oh my god, they just eviscerated a duck. I mean, like,
No, I don't got
and
any
this is
grapes.
yeah, it's it's fantastic. You will definitely get a kick out of that. Very outstandingly written, and the art's top notch.
I love it.
I'm really, and it is out on graphic novel too. So like you can pick that up and just like blow through the whole thing real quick. So I'm
I'm
all
very
over
interested
that.
in this. I'm gonna have to check it out. There
Yeah.
are two things that I'm excited about that's coming out, and I'm not sure I think one's coming out next week, and the other is coming out next month. the Giant Size Spider-Man issue 1.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, and of course, like the main reason, and I've talked about this last episode, I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan. And Kevin Smith actually wrote one of the Spider-Man stories in it. So I
Okay.
definitely want to check that out. And like his writing and comics are like he loves doing it. And they turn out really well. But the next one, which it's so bonkers and banana sandwich that like you have to get it, but it's Archie meets Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah, I would have picked that up.
And
That's
I think that is such a crazy idea. And I'm curious to know how they go about doing it because it's got to be obviously set in like the Jay and Silent Bob world, not the Archie world. I can't see the actual Archie world like deviating away from the original core values, if you will, of what
well.
Archie was.
Have you ever really delved into Archie books?
Listen, when I was a kid, yeah, I used to get those like I don't even know how much they are now, but they were like $2 back in the day. They looked like Reader's Digest, and they were just a plethora of Archie comic stories in there.
But like Archie has been known going back to the 50s,
Mhm.
has been known to like push the envelope when it comes to like sexual innuendo stuff.
I
Like
see it. Maybe just as a kid, I never really paid attention to that stuff.
there's a whole gamma of people that just collect the innuendo books. Like, okay, perfect example. There's one where Archie is carrying Veronica out of a lake.
Mhm.
Okay, and you know, she's there like, "Oh, Archie, you saved me. How was it?" And he goes, "I only had to beat off a few guys."
You know what? It's funny because like I have seen that meme where it wasn't
Yep.
really a meme, but yeah, I've seen a lot of people posting that before.
And then there's another one. I think it was like Betty and Veronica were talking, and Betty's like, Archie's going to give me a gold necklace for Christmas, and like Veronica's, well, he's going to give me a pearl necklace.
oh
I'm
dear
like,
Lord.
yeah, I mean, like, there's lots of like, you're just like, wow. Another neat thing is too, did you know that like the first time Godzilla in print was in an Archie book in the United States?
Really?
Was in Archie's. Yeah, Scooby-Doo made his first comic book appearance in Archie. I
Which
mean,
is
like,
wild.
yeah,
That's all. That's
yeah, like,
listen, I love Scooby Doo too, and that's maybe it was just like me growing up watching the animated series that I never really like thought to look more into the history of the Scoobster. But I
yeah,
know that there's a new live action series coming on Netflix,
Netflix, yeah,
and I'm looking forward to that. Like, I think that like when they started doing, I think my biggest question that I always said that if there was a property, an IP that went into public domain, like how Mickey Mouse did, or Steamboat Willie, I should say, and all of a sudden everybody's making movies about it, or Winnie the Pooh. Like, what would be the IP that you would create a new horror version of that, a more serious? And I've always said that Scooby-Doo would have been the most perfect IP to turn into just a bloody all-out horror film. And they even had the comic.
Did you see the book I just posted the other day?
I'm not sure.
Scooby-Doo versus the Cult of Cthulhu, and it's actually called Scooby-Doom.
Oh no, I did not see that. I'll have to look at that.
Yeah, look at this. Scooby-Doom versus the Cult of Cthulhu.
Now, was
That
it was an actual run?
It's a little. Remember those books when we were kids where you can like pick your endings type of thing?
Yes, I love those.
It's one of those. It's one of those, and it's called Scooby-Doom and the Cult of versus the Cult of Cthulhu.
Oh, that's badass.
And like, there's no good endings for anybody in it. Like, no one survives.
Right.
But there's just cooler ways that each person dies. But yeah, it's an interesting, funny book. So yeah, like that's that was a pretty cool one. Like, yeah, Scooby Doom is the name of it.
I see. Yeah,
Um,
that's pretty wild. I love that. That's
yes.
so interesting. Um,
Yeah, I mean, like Archie has like it's funny because like years ago I couldn't give away Archie comics. Now I do a show and I have at least 4 or 5 people come up to me and be like, "Got any Archies? Got any Archies? Got any Archies?" You know, I'm
do you
just
think
like,
the
yeah.
popularity of Riverdale had done anything for that?
I think that did a lot for it. That and like the Sabrina the Teenage Witch, both versions, but especially the original version. Like the one that came out, I think it went a little too dark for some people. And yeah, like the Archie world, like yeah, Sabrina Spellman is a witch, but she wasn't like as the it wasn't as dark as the Showtime show went.
Right.
Not Showtime. Netflix
Was it
show went.
Netflix? Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I never
yeah,
watched it.
Netflix. I'm pretty.
Yeah, I think
It
it was
was
Netflix.
good. Like I didn't hate it. Like I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. It was interesting. I'll be. Yeah, full disclosure, I didn't finish the last season yet.
Mhm.
And then she did come back in after it, and she reprised her role on the Riverdale show. That's Sabrina Spellman. She did a small story arc um, on the regular television station, on the
Okay.
regular television show.
I like that they crossed them over like that. I think that was a
Yeah, I
really
did
good
too.
idea.
I thought that was cool.
Did
In fact,
Riverdale
I'm
even end?
probably um
I can't remember.
I'm not sure.
I've never watched it, but like I've always heard good
I've
things
watched
about
it.
it.
I watched it here and there. Like I never like dove into it. But to be honest with you, like I'm watching a couple things. Like the wife and I, we kind of like we'll get into a series and we'll blow through it, and then we'll find something new. So I think I'm gonna put that in our queue. She doesn't know that until she listens to this. But
Surprise!
yeah, I think I'm gonna put that in our queue, and and we'll probably go and rewatch the Sabrina stuff, and finish it, and then check out Riverdale.
So yeah,
That's
Riverdale actually
these.
ended 2 years ago.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
2023.
While we're talking about writers, like Peter David passed away.
I did see that. I did see that. He was responsible for a lot of the stories, a lot of the everything that like for a while that we've read or watched. Um, he was he overseen a lot of it and did a lot of it himself.
The Hulk. He did a lot of stuff with Hulk. Young Justice. Spider-Man 2099, I think he did.
Yes.
X Factor, I think he did. I know he like almost revamped Moon Knight. Um, he was I think he worked for Playboy for a while. Like he was like a cartoonist for Playboy for a while. I mean like he was a good dude. A lot of he like you said. I mean like he had his fingers in a lot of pies in the comic book world.
I loved Young Justice.
Yeah,
That show
so
was amazing.
so I'm like yeah I'm tipping I'm spilling out some of my Gatorade for my homie. You know.
100%. And he actually did. I had to look this up. He also did the authorized novelizations of Batman Forever, Iron Man,
Oh, did he?
Transformers, and Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy.
Oh, no, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
That's real cool.
Another
that's
part of our childhood had passed as well. I think we'd be remiss if we did not mention it. Is Loretta Swit from MASH? Anytime that you heard that theme music come on, you know that Dad was in the room and cartoons were over. No more Cheers or Night Court. It was time for MASH.
That was my dad's. My dad loved it. I mean, like I got into it too, to be honest with you. After a while there.
See, and you know what? I've watched it, and it was only based on I had no choice. Either my uncle was watching or my dad was watching it because we had like what 6 channels back when MASH aired,
Right.
and so really didn't have much of a choice. And I've watched it countless times. I could not tell you any storylines about it.
I can.
Two
But I'm
characters,
not,
well, three characters that I can. No, see, there's been so many memorable characters from the show, but Radar was always like the top, and I don't know why. I always liked Radar, but he reminded me so much of Scooter from the Muppets. I don't
yeah.
know. That's where my mind always went to when it came to MASH. Um, but Alan Alda, and of course Klinger. That was like a big thing back then. Klinger.
Yep.
Um, yeah,
Corporal Klinger.
but of course Hot Lips Houlihan.
I mean, it's always been on like the top, 5 TV shows of all time. It's always made like those like highly important television lists and everything like that. So I mean, you got to give it credit where credit's due. Another person that passed away recently was Ed Gale, and Ed Gale played Chucky.
Yeah,
He was
the actor in the Chucky costume.
Yep. He also played Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
He
Howard the Duck, that movie.
He was 61, I think, when he passed away.
That's young. That is so
Yeah.
that's still young. Like I don't care how much you slice that cheese. That's still young.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah. So I mean, like that's So
I can't say I do love the way we converse and we handle the show right now. I've been listening to us do this, and I'm gonna take this back a little bit. I don't know if you remember this. You might, but I remember there was a time that I always said that this would be so awesome to do before podcasting was a thing, and I always said that we should have done this on the radio. But I remember a time, there was like maybe 6 or 7 of us, and we went to Belle Vernon, and we were at the Ponderosa down there. And we all just had just a 2 or 3 hour long conversation over wingdings and mashed potatoes, talking about The Simpsons. And
I remember that.
God,
That was
I want to say
that was the all you could eat steak days in Ponderosa.
Oh,
I remember
100%.
that.
And it was like you, me. I want to say Jeremy was there.
Moon.
Tim Stiffy. There and maybe like 2 or 3 other people, and I just remember we just had this conversation about The Simpsons, and it was just, and I couldn't wait to just bring that up. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But that's what doing this with you reminds me of.
Good.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun doing this.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying doing this. I'm not gonna lie. I think I said it to you yesterday. It's like I could do this like every day. Like we could record every day, and I'd be cool with it.
Hey, you never know. Maybe at one point it will be like, hey, it's a daily. Do it like a morning show.
Right.
Morning show with the Midnight Suns, Rich and Mike.
Yeah. That would be awesome. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Move over, good mythical morning.
Yeah, this is Rich, not Jared Leto Morbius. Oh my God. I was like on TikTok and it kept coming up on my feed was Endgame. Just I don't know why. Like, cause that movie is how many years old now, and just like random clips started popping up. Like, fuck, I should watch this movie. And so I did. I threw it on today. I forgot that it's like 3 hours long. And man, it's really got me hyped up for the next Avengers movies. And
You know what? I'll be dead honest with you. I haven't watched Endgame.
really?
Nope, I
And
haven't
have you watched Infinity War?
Most of it.
Oh.
I haven't finished it.
Yeah, that's another one. It's like almost 3 hours long.
Yeah, like
It's like The Irish in theaters.
yeah, it's not. Again, it's not that I have anything against the MCU when it comes to like the films. Like I think it's fantastic, or the DCU when it comes to films. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm behind the 8 ball when it comes to like watching a lot of stuff lately, just because time constraints for me. Like with my job, I go to bed very very early because I get up for work very very early.
Right.
So it's difficult for me especially to commit for a 3 hour film. So I tend to like not do that, but like I said, like things are changing, so I'll probably catch up on all my nerddom pretty soon when
Yeah,
it
well,
comes to
I
that
won't
stuff.
ruin it then, even though it's like 5 years old. Actually, I think
Yeah,
it might even be longer than that now, but
I think it's longer than that now. Yeah, I
shit.
think it is.
But it's such a good movie. And I think after that, the MCU with the handful of uh, standalones, they've been pretty hit or miss, and like I'm hoping that the Fantastic Four kind of brings them out of their slump with First Steps because I think it looks pretty good.
Now, the stuff that I'm loving from the MCU isn't even in the movies. Like, I've been really enjoying the stuff like the Werewolf by Night and the Moon Knight series
Yeah,
stuff. Like, I always like that stuff. Like, I'm sorry, man. When Moon Knight came out and I saw it, he looked so creepy. He literally gave me the chills when I saw it. I'm like, that is awesome.
they
They
did
knocked
amazing
it
on
out
that
of the
show.
park on the visuals. Like, they killed it.
Well,
It
even the
was
story was
amazing.
good too.
Yes. Like, everything about it was Werewolf by Night, another one.
Oh, 100%.
Fantastic. Because like Werewolf by Night, I can like that's another one of my favorite comics. You know, and like a lot of cool like Moon Knight come out of Werewolf by Night. You know,
Well, didn't Blade
so
also come out from? Didn't Blade come from
Dracula.
where?
He came out of no, he was in Werewolf by Night, but Blade came out of Tomb of Dracula issue
Okay,
10.
you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, issue 10, Tomb of Dracula. Because like out of the whole like Tomb of Dracula line, there's a few key books in there, and like that's the number one key that like everyone always tries to like give their eye teeth for
Mm-hmm.
is the Tomb of Dracula number 10. It's actually worth like a lot more than a number one and everything like that as well.
That's crazy.
That's a good book to get. There's a few books that are like in series that have like a lot more value than like their number ones do. They're like Detective Issue 27, which is like the be all end all. That's my holy grail. First time Batman was ever introduced, Detective Issue 27. You know, so like that's
I could only imagine holding that book, like an actual copy. Now I've had over the course of years, you know, like either you have reprints on Free Comic Book Day, or they'll release dollar here, like even The Walking Dead or Spawn.
right.
They've released on like dollar reprints and stuff like that. Um, I can only imagine just holding an original Detective.
I got the. I have. I can honestly say I've held one in my hand, and it's here in Pittsburgh. A big comic book shop and has it,
Mm-hmm.
and well, okay, New Dimension Comics has it.
Okay.
Like, Todd has one, and I got to hold it once. His copy once.
They handed you
And
like gloves.
right, his is not graded. He never had it. He never had it CGC'd. Well, not that I know of to this day. I don't believe he ever had it graded. It's probably one of the only books out there because there was a little bit of controversy about that book when it reared its ugly head and came onto the market. Apparently, the original owner had it somehow, one of those like found it in the house type of things. Now, mind you, I'm paraphrasing. I'm just trying to remember everything. Had it in the house, found it, that and several other, Golden Age books. Took them to another big comic book shop in Pittsburgh, Ides. Ides looked over the books and they were interested, but Ides said that the Detective Issue 27 was shaved. And for those of you who don't know, shaving is when you cut part of the pages off to make everything squared up. Okay, and shaving books, that alters it. People don't want that.
Of course.
Makes the book look nicer, but they don't want it. But anyway, he's like, no, I never did anything. I never shaved it. Blah blah blah. But so they tried to make a deal. Deal fell through. Guy took it to New Dimension. A couple other places in New Dimension. Finally, Todd from New Dimension won out and got the book and won the book.
Mhm.
So and he has it. And
Wow.
apparently like people are like, well, why didn't you ever get? You're the only reason why you never got it, graded is because it's shaved and this, that, the other. He swears up and down that it's not shaved as well. But I'll be honest with you, I don't think I'd get it graded either if I had one. If I had a raw 27,
Hmm.
I don't think I'd get it graded. Um,
It almost
I
adds like
don't.
a more of a like personal feeling if you don't. I think.
Yeah, if now if I had a store and I was going to sell it,
Hmm.
then
That's
yes,
different. Sure.
I would have it graded. Now, if I was going to, and Todd has it for, I believe his initial intention was to flip it,
Hmm.
and then then basically it became his precious. Um, once it got into his collection, he was just like, my precious. I can't get,
That was the
I
first
can't
thing
get
when you
rid of
said
it.
precious. That was the first thing that popped into my mind.
Like he couldn't get rid of it. I think it just kind of became like a part of his personal collection.
Sure.
Um, so he just decided, screw it, I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm just going to keep it. It's mine. I shall enjoy it. I might sell it at some point in time. And I don't know what he paid for it. I know he paid a hefty penny for it, but I have no idea what it was. And this is way before the big comic book boom happened a couple of years ago, where like books jumped in price over like 50, 80, 90% overnight. Now, a lot of stuff has calmed down since then, especially, we call it the COVID boom. Now, especially like a lot of the books have, like I said, cooled off. Some of them have like, dipped way, 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 way down. Um, but some books still haven't. And those are like your big boy comic books, like your Detective 27, like your Punch 10s, like all those type of things.
Right.
Like those books have still maintained and have actually climbed since
Oh
the
wow.
COVID boom. I mean, you're now talking about books that everybody and their mother wants to get a hold of. An extreme short amount that are out there. So yeah, they're just going to hold their value. If not, and they're going to continue to rise. Heck, I mean, just pages, like a page of the
Hmm.
book can get into the thousands of dollars.
Right.
Like if you have a splash page, you can probably get 10 to 12 to $15,000 for a splash page.
That's insane.
That's
Wow.
crazy amounts of money.
That's mind blowing. It really is.
That's crazy. Now we were talking earlier today about like independent books,
Hmm.
and one of them, I'm just gonna do a shout out to like one of my absolute favorite comic books of all time, and it's a book called Poison Elves, and that book saved me from comic books because like there was a time in my life where like I was literally just angry with the entire comic book industry, and that was like when especially Marvel was making me buy like 97 different issues every week because they did so many crossovers. Like you would have to read like all these different books in order to stay up with one story
Right.
arc.
Hmm.
And they did that. Yeah, that was a cash grab moneymaker. And then they would put out 950 different covers for different things and all
Well,
stuff like that. So
right. I was gonna say,
I
I
was getting,
remember one of the famous, actually, two story arcs that pop into my mind was Nightfall and Maximum Carnage. Be-
Maximum Carnage. Yep.
because they had like all four different books. They had Amazing, Spectacular, Spider-Man. Then they had Web, and then
Yep.
they started branching out into so those there was really no books that kind of spawned from Spider-Man, if I'm not mistaken. But
Yeah.
with Batman, you had the Catwoman comic, you had the Robin comic book, and everything just kind of, you had Teen Titans, you had Superman, and all of the stories kind of from Nightfall.
Led in.
Yes, and then you had to buy every single every single book just to get the full story. And if you missed one, and they talk about it in Detective Comics, and it happened in Green Lantern, you're kind of lost in the fuck.
you're like, oh man, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Then you had to go back and try to dig that up. Yeah, I mean, like, so for a while there, like, I was just like kind of like just maintaining a collection. Like, I just was like, okay, I'm just gonna pick, certain titles and just do that. And I even kind of quit reading some of them for a while there. And then James Craig, Spanky, came up to me and was like, you got to read this book. And he handed me like the first like 8 issues that were out of Poison Elves.
Oh wow.
He's like, you're gonna love this. I was like, all right, I'll check it out. So got it. He handed them to me. I went home. That was like on a Thursday. He's like, and I read them over the weekend. Brought them back to him a couple days later. Handed them back to him. And I was just like, this is awesome. And he's like, I told you. So I went to my local comic shop and back issued all of the first 10 that because they were already out, and just started reading it from then on. And then the original storyline was originally called I, Lucifer. And then he put out a handful of issues. The first 10 issues were magazine size, and then the last 10 issues of the first series run were regular comic book size. And they were self-published by the artist, writer, creator, Drew Hayes. And he had his own comic company called Mulehide Graphics. So I hunted all those down, which were hard because like he lived over on the wrong coast. I mean the West Coast, and
Wrong side.
yeah, and he lived up in Seattle. So he I tracked all the books down. Was able to get all of those. It took me a good bit, but I got them all. And went and read all that, and then just started reading all the issues of PE, and I just fell in love with it. PE was such a cool book because it was an indie book that was about a elf who was an assassin, and his name was Lewis. They called him Lucifer because he was just a brutal assassin, and it was funny, it was smart, it had great storylines, the art was great, everything about it was just a cool. One of the best storylines was like he was hunting police officers who killed his girlfriend, and that was still to this day one of my favorite storylines because he has this cop. He's like tied up. He's like, all right, go ahead and kill me, blah blah blah. He's like, but before you do that, he's like, let me tell you my story. He's just like, what? He's like, if it bores me, I'm just gonna kill you. He's like, I gotta get this off my chest. So turns out that the cop was a serial killer,
Oh,
and it was like part of the task force to hunt himself down.
oh my! Yeah, and I know the artwork does looks very good. Um,
Uh,
and I've seen the book multiple times, and it became a popular book where you've seen it.
Yeah.
And like, and I hope this doesn't but I've seen it in like Ollie's. And
Oh, okay.
I've seen it at bookstores. I've seen it, and it's just amazing the popularity that it has. While
It's
not
outsold Batman for a while there, off of Serious Comics. It outsold it monthly for a while there. It was outselling Batman books
wow,
for an independent. I mean, like that's crazy.
that is wild. You know what? And that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Like, just the whole independent aspect of things is just it proves that I think that there's such a world out there, and when it comes to like, there's such a world out there with so much creativity that gets lost in a lot of unoriginal stuff. And
Oh yeah.
that's where and it seems like if you do come up with something original, all of a sudden you're independent.
Yep.
You're I don't know, you're just kind of like an outsider by
Like
creating something that's not part of the norm that you're used to seeing.
one of the funny storylines is Luce gets his nickname's Luce. Luce gets turned into a woman by a witch. Okay.
Okay.
And his friend Jace, they're out there like eating dinner. He's like, He's like, what are you looking at? He's like, my eyes are up here, man. He's like, he's like, they're nice. He's like, I know, aren't they? And then all of a sudden he's like, he goes, ah, he's like, starts screaming. He's like, what's wrong? He's like, I don't know. He's like, it feels like someone's stabbing. He ends up getting his period.
Oh my God.
And it's just hysterical, like the way he's like the way he's talking about it, because it's like a dude that gets his period for the first time, and like he's just like, how do they put up with this?
That's fucking hilarious.
Oh, it's so good, like it's so funny, and it's just so wrong. He's like, as soon as I find this witch, he's like, I'm gonna kill her.
That's great.
Yeah, there's a guy named the Purple Marauder who's like this. I can't even explain him. He's my favorite character. That's all I'm gonna say. He's so funny because he's gay.
Oh jeez.
And but he's oh my god, yeah, his character's awesome. He doesn't talk, he screams every time. It's like they're always like, why does he yell? He's like, I don't know. Like you just have to read it. It's so good. Anybody out there, your homework is to find Boys Nels books and read them.
Yes, check it out.
There'll be a
Boys
quiz in
Nels,
6 months.
Is there like is there a specific website to get these at?
They're doing a full reboot on all the books, because Drew passed away. The writer creator passed away a couple years, probably 12 years ago, maybe more. So like they are reprinting all the books. You can get them in graphic novel form, but you can get it at almost any local comic shop, and they're like, normally the books are in the dollar bins, pretty cheap. Like I said, most of them are $1 a piece.
Yeah.
Like the first one and a couple other ones have carry a little bit of weight to them. Now the original independent books, some of those can get into like $50 to $100 range, but the other ones you can get anywhere between like $15 to $1. You know. So you can pick them up pretty cheap. In fact, it's probably better off to get to actually get the monthlies than it is to get the graphic novels, because the graphic novels actually have more value to them than some of the original books, which is odd.
Yeah,
that's a bizarre. That happens sporadically, but that's one of the books that happens to a lot. Pretty wild.
Interesting. So yeah, do your homework. Check out.
That was my little spotlight on a cool book that most people have never heard of, and I want to say thanks to Spanky for turning me on to that book. It's fantastic.
That's awesome. Well, I think that about wraps up for the show today, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Be sure to check us out. We are now on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Podbean. Still trying to figure out the Apple Podcast. I don't know why, and I think it has something to do with the sizing of the logo. I kind of did a little chat thing, and I think that might be an issue, because I tried to do it to YouTube, but they basically came back and said, hey, your size is too big for the logo. That doesn't support what YouTube does. So I'm like, okay, fine. We don't really need to do YouTube anyway. It's not really that big of a deal. I don't think anybody goes to YouTube to listen to podcasts anyway. But it just was basically another avenue to put us on. But yeah, I think Spotify is probably one of the biggest ones that a lot of people listen to us on. But yeah, so give us a subscribe, follow us, go to, we're on Instagram now. I did set up an account the day after the last episode. So that's Lights Camera Pop Pod on Instagram, or you can go to Lights Camera Pop on Facebook. If you want to email us, I think this is super cool, and I thought about doing this. I'd like to hear from you guys. If you want to email us with questions, shout-outs, comments, questions, I'm sure we'll get something about KISS. But
Bring it on.
Bring it. You can email us at lightscamerapoppod@outlook.com. Yes, I used Outlook instead of Gmail. But on that happy note, I hope everybody has a great week and keep I don't know, keep getting geeky. Keep your geek on. I'm been trying to like think of like, do I want to say something etchy at the end? I don't know. It's just I want it to come naturally, I guess. I don't know.
Our nerd army will unite soon.
Bring it on with some names.
Yeah.
But on that happy note, everybody have a great week. Mike, have a good one. We'll be in touch.
You too. Can't wait to do this again. All right, everybody, have a great week, and hopefully you like us. You know, show us some love, guys. Thank you. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, appreciate it. Have a good one, guys. Till next time.